Hello everyone, welcome back to this Football Manager 2017 experiment where we're looking at what would happen if you had the best regen in the game on your team. Now last episode we bumped up all of his stats to 20, so he is the perfect player. We've already reviewed his ability up to now. He's now 28 years old and a World Cup winner with England. And something that was suggested in the comments last time around is that I should actually manage him in a game to see how he performs if he gets any goals. And a perfect opportunity has come up. It's against Arsenal in the Community Shield. It's right after where we left off last episode, so we haven't advanced in time at all yet. We're just going to see how he gets on in this match, and then we're going to go forward 5 years into the future to see how he's doing at the age of 33 and if he's still going as strong, because his attributes are frozen, so technically he shouldn't get any worse, but it'll be interesting to see if he's still getting as many goals at that age, or if the game has some hidden mechanics we can't actually mess with that keeps him deteriorating over time. But let's jump into this game. We're going to use a little hybrid of the formation I use in my Newcastle series at home because it suits the Tottenham players we have available. It might also just be worth having a look at the transfers at the club, which is something else that was recommended. You can see they're poaching players from Real Madrid. Not really anybody going out. If we just run through a few players from Anderlecht coming in for a bit of cash. £30 million on a player from Porto. They signed Callum Steele from Newcastle. Spending £63 million, 38 on Ryan Davies, a couple of Middlesbrough players in there. Looks like they like buying players in batches. Spent a lot of money that season on Sean Lowry, Vaclav Cherny, Brendan Galloway and Leo both came in. Looks like they're not spending that much money. I mean, relative to a few years ago, they definitely are. But given they're recouping some money in sales, it's really not that much at all. And the players they're bringing in are not that special. There's no absolutely out of this world sort of player in here. So for the most part, it looks like the team is still getting carried by Giancarlo. Lowry's quite a good player on the left flank. Piacco is quite a good player. Dele Alli obviously already in the team. The defence is quite solid with the likes of Tar and Galloway in there. I've never heard of Giancarlo Israel. He's a regen, but a very good one. £42 million goalkeeper is not bad. Very good right back. I think the entire team is along this sort of theme, to be honest. Brendan Galloway's a bit poop, but the midfield looks reasonably strong. It's a classic kind of AI team after a while in the game. Some older players in there, a lot of very good regens, but with Giancarlo up top and the great player that he is, you're always going to be carried by him. So let's get into the game, see how he gets on, how he plays, and if we can beat Arsenal and win the Community Shield. Spurs are on the attack. Russo tries to switch flank. Torres cuts it out. It looks like Arsenal are by far the dominant team. This is the trouble with me taking over. It does disrupt with the whole flow of the team. And obviously I have to bring in a brand new tactic. It doesn't stick with the one that Spurs had before. So at the moment they've only actually had 2 shots, 1 on target. Here's Clelton, I think that is. And he's found Piacco. Is there a ball for Giancarlo in here? It is sent in. There he is with a header, but straight at the goalkeeper. Arsenal have got the free kick, edge of the area, and Arsenal have taken the lead, and this Spurs team are just not playing well at all today. That's actually the full-time whistle, and for a player who is supposed to be perfect, that was a really poor performance. He got a 6.6, a long way off the 9.5 that he normally racks up in a game, but I think that is more to do with the system. He's also got injured. He's never meant to get injured. I think that was the worst possible game that he could have had with an audience watching. He's never got injured before in his entire career, I don't think. If we have a look at his injury history, he's had a cold before, a twisted ankle, a dead leg and food poisoning. And then in the one game that we managed, he gets a bruised head. That was a pretty poor look at the player. I think it's not reflective of his history. It's more that that was a final against Arsenal. It was always going to be difficult, especially with me coming in as manager the day before. So instead, what we're going to do, I'm not going to worry about rerunning that. We've got a highlight of him having a header at the goalkeeper. Instead, we are going to go forward 5 years, get back to the main view that we're looking at in this challenge, and that's how many competitions does he win, how long does he keep going, what's his goal scoring record, all those great things. So let's go forward to 2033 and see how he's doing as a 33-year-old player. Here we are in 2033. Giancarlo is still at Spurs from the look of it. Now that Community Shield match that I managed has been wiped out. I think Pochettino is still, or should still be, in charge of Spurs. He is. They've been winning the league every year again. There's one giveaway for you. But the interesting thing is that he's 20 rated in every single position. But he's only valued at £7 million, and that's because his contract ends next summer. So his valuation's fallen through the floor. But he is still perfect in every sense. He's now a legendary striker in the media. He's got 205 goals in 197 England games. That is not bad at all. I'm not sure what's going on with his contract. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of this year, whether he's just getting 1 year contracts. He got a 2-year contract, it seems. His career stats are getting better and better. He actually got a 9.3 last season, 9.44 this season. That's the highest that has ever been. 33 Player of the Match awards in 38 league games, 23 assists, 36 goals. That's the most assists he's ever got as well. I think that's the most total goals he's been involved in. 79 goals he was involved with in 63 games. So it looks like he's still performing as good as anybody, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when his contract does run out, whether it gets extended and how long he keeps going for. Somebody did say in the comments that would he keep going forever? And then somebody else mentioned that actually they ran a similar experiment and the player did retire at about 38. So what we're going to do next time out, if we do another episode, is go 5 more years in the future. We'll see where he is, because some people are interested to see if he enters management or not. If we have a look at his achievements and then have a look at his competitions, that's what we really care about. We'll go back to 2028 and see what happened there. They obviously won the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. They did the treble. Then he picked up another Community Shield, Super Cup, Club World Cup, getting those 3 competitions in, and the EFL Cup, and the Premier League, and the FA Cup. So he won absolutely everything that season. Is the Champions League there? It's not, but he did win the Confederations Cup with England. Had he won the Premier League, had he won the Champions League, he would have done what Barcelona did with Messi in their heyday of winning every competition going in a single season or in a year. I can't remember which sort of time scale they used to measure that. Then he goes on to win the Community Shield again, another EFL Cup, another Premier League, another Community Shield, another EFL Cup runner-up that time, didn't manage to retain it, but Premier League winners again. Won the European International League with England again, runners-up in the Community Shield, won the EFL Cup, Premier League, European Championship winners again. I think that's the 3rd time he's won that with England. That is pretty impressive. Runners up in a couple more competitions, wins the Premier League again, FA Cup again, and then wins the Champions League again. So the best screen to use at this point, given he's been going as a professional for 17 years, is probably his biography. He is a Spurs icon. I can't believe he's not a legend, but he's apparently an icon. And he's gone on to make 197 appearances and 205 goals for his country. Moved to Spurs for £27 million, and he's made 620 league appearances and got 469 goals for Spurs. That is not bad at all. Community Shield, he has won that competition 6 times with Spurs. He's won the EFL Cup 6 times, the FA Cup 3 times, the UEFA Super Cup 4 times, the Europa League twice, the Champions League 3 times, the UEFA European Championship 3 times, the FIFA World Cup in 2026 with England, the Confederations Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup 3 times, the European International League twice, and he's been Premier League champions 10 times in a row up to the existing season. That's how dominant he's been as a player. He's won absolutely every competition going. 44 competition wins. It says it in black and white right there. He's also won the FIFA Ballon d'Or 15 times in a row. That's incredible. But he is the best player in the game, so there's no reason why he wouldn't be winning that. It's maybe not that special. But it would be interesting just to look at the Premier League. If we go to the 10 titles in a row that he won in the Premier League, maybe just have a look at the stages and by what margin they're actually winning this Premier League now. 6 points clear, 7 points clear, just a 1 point in at that time. 9 points clear. Newcastle finishing second. What's going on there? 4th and 3rd. I need to get in on this save. That's pretty impressive. 13 points clear. Oh, massive gap there. Look at that. That was nearly 30 points clear at the top of the league. They actually went unbeaten. They went unbeaten. I don't think they've done that another time, but they actually went unbeaten. They matched the Arsenal Invincibles and finished 29 points above them. That is without doubt the greatest Premier League champion finish there has ever been. And it just goes to show the impact that he's had in this game. I'm not going to go too much more in depth than that, because at the moment we're kind of winding down his career. We know that he's going to keep winning competitions. It's not that impressive at this point. We're more interested in how he's going to finish his career, and when he'll retire from England duty as well is another thing to keep an eye out on. He's still playing there at the moment as far as I'm aware. But I think that's going to be it for this part. It might be a bit shorter than the other ones. We did have a look at him in action. It was a really poor game. So if you want to see him play in another game, maybe a more normal Premier League game, do let me know. Drop a like on the video if you want to see a fifth and maybe final part. I might have a play around with his backroom stats to see if he wants to be a manager, try and get that trait in there. And we can maybe see how he gets on as a manager. But the next part, we will go straight up to his retirement. Whenever that happens to be, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, or never, we will try and find a date and see how that impacts on this game. But that's going to be it. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more. Drop a like on the video, like I said. And until next time, see ya.